Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwartner. Welcome to Selling Power TV. Today I'm very excited because we're speaking with Richie Contartesi. He is the founder of the Relentless University. Welcome, Richie.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad to be here.
So you look pretty fit, and you love being fit. Tell me about your fitness mindset.
If I want to improve my work performance, my mental performance, then my body needs to be fit as well. But I do believe if you want to be a peak performer in the office, then your body needs to be a peak performer. And so we've seen lots of people transform their life and also their wealth by focusing and also improving their health.
Share your story. You were about 5'7". You weighed about 150 pounds, and you wanted to get a position in a leading football team when he played in college.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I'm 5'7", 150 pounds, grew up in South Florida. I had this big dream of playing big time college football. But it's tough when you don't fit in. But there's one thing that changed everything for me. And I went on the internet, I looked up the academic requirements in order to play big time college football. And that day when I looked at those requirements, I was like, I actually may be able to do this. And that word came out of my mouth, and that was lights out. All the way through high school. And I remember having a decision to make and saying, hey, am I going to live this dream or not? Am I going to lay on my deathbed one day and say, what if, or go for it? And I decided to go for it and create a spreadsheet I still have to this day of all 119 Division I schools. This was the dream. And all the recruiting coordinators and all their phone numbers. And I was calling down that list one after the other. I was like, someone's got it. And the question they would always ask in the beginning, they would always ask is, what's your height and weight? And that was the end of the call. I did get the coach of FIU at the time to say, hey, come Florida International University, to say, hey, come down. Let's have another conversation. I was like, oh my God, this might happen. I might get a walk-on spot, something. And I went down there and the coach literally looked at me through the office window. I watched him call the secretary and just say, hey, I don't know about this meeting. I don't even know what this is. And so I never even it was the most embarrassing thing. Drove all the way down to Miami. What's crazy is a coach that I had when I was 12 years old, who just happened to be a coach my senior year of high school, got an internship for the football team at Ole Miss. And I called Kyle and I was like, Kyle, man, you know how I play. Can I get a walk-on spot at Ole Miss? Is there anything I can do? So they gave me a tryout. I drove all the way up to Mississippi. I was able to get into the school, right? But I had no idea what's happening. And I walked into this big indoor practice facility. I had one 1 hour trial. This was it. Like I moved to Mississippi for a 1 hour trial. My heart's pounding out of my chest. All these guys are way bigger than me. I don't fit in. I watched Michael Orr from The Blind Side was there, and Mike Wallace, who played for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Eli Manning happened to be there, who was a quarterback. I ended up not making the team. And Kyle said something to the head coach at the time and ended up getting me one more trial. And he said to the coach, look, he'll never play here. I promise you, he'll never play here, but he'll make everybody around him better. And so he goes, fine, I'll give him a week. So I got a week trial, went all in, went insane. And the defensive line hated it because they had to run and chase me and go down. And the head coach at the end of the week came, Ed Ogeron, put his arm around me. He goes, you got a spot on this team. To make a long story short, I had to do the same thing I did the first year, the second year, and the third year. And I knew the playbook. I knew what the coaches wanted. I put all these things together that I learned. Was still the one relentless guy at practice that never ended. And we had one final scrimmage, and this is the end of the story. I walked through the tunnel out onto the field, and there's a bright blue sky. There's fans in the stands, and this was the final scrimmage before my senior year. This was it. Like, this was it. I walked through the tunnel, and I could just smell the grass, and it was a hot day, and I'm warming up, and I got a tap on my shoulder, and it was the head coach. He looked at me, and he said, Richie, you've legitimately given me no choice. You're now on scholarship. It was right before my senior year. And I was like, holy smokes. I called my dad and I said, Dad, you're not going to believe this. And he goes, what? I go, I just got put on scholarship. And he said something to me I'll never forget. And I think about this all the time, especially when I'm speaking and when I'm working in my day to day. He goes, I'm proud of you. And that one thing triggered, what was I doing all of this for? Why was I relentless? That journey of earning that scholarship changed and gave me the confidence to do what I'm doing today. You look at resiliency, you look at mental toughness, you look at the relentless drive to do things that other people think are impossible, to prove yourself right. Being able to develop the skill of resiliency is so powerful. And I just sharing that message is important. I hope some of your listeners can grab some encouragement from that.
How can people learn more about your services for sales organizations?
Relentless University, you can go there, but also relentlessrichie.com. Basically, we help and take organizations that are lacking in areas of accountability and help them create that structure. It's a leadership process, and we do it with salespeople, executives, leadership teams, and help them increase their performance, productivity, and increase their mental toughness. And we create relentless warriors who want to be held accountable, who drool for accountability because they see the amount of success, and they could see it week in and week out. And when they look back over 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, they're like, this is insane.
So for anybody who wants to learn more about Rich's company, go to those websites. They're listed in the description below. And thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your amazing story, Richie.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.